Hey everybody, it is Floods Worsen here from the Ed Boys, and today we're going to get rich on a budget featuring the Fortis Colosseum. The goal of this video is to show you that you can make a lot of money while bossing without having max gear by any means. Here's a look at Floods' stats as we get started. Since these combat levels have slowly been creeping towards 99s, I won't be using stat boosting potions for the first portion of this video to simulate if I had lower stats than this. At level 86 range, if you sip a ranging potion, it would boost you up to 98, and if you sip a super attack and a super strength at 73 attack and 77 strength respectively, it'll boost up to the levels that I have here. No matter what your levels are, you should be using offensive potions for more DPS. The only reason I'm not using them is to show you that you would be fine with lower stats while potting up. Here's a look at the bank tab we're starting with. I've got 1 mil GP, a Book of War, and an Ava's accumulator. In this other tab, I have a few untradeable items that are going to be solid upgrades as well, but I'll be unlocking these as I make more money during the episode. When the bank tab hits 2 mil value, I'll get my Ring of Shadows, Fire Cape, and Rune Pouch, which seems to be in the main tab at the moment. At 5 mil, I'll get my Barrow's Gloves, Dragon Defender, and Ava's Assembler, which are all pretty solid upgrades. And then at 10 mil made, I'll start using my offensive potions, as well as using Rigor, which is the strongest range prayer in the game, and currently costs under 10 mil to get that prayer scroll. For now though, we have 1 mil, the Book of War, and Ava's accumulator. Let's go buy some more gear. I bought a pretty easy melee setup with the Helm of Nada's Knot, Amulet of Glory, Dragon Boots, Mixed Hide Armor, and a combat bracelet. For ranged, I grabbed a magic shortbow and amethyst arrows, and then for magic, I'm getting an ancient staff and some runes for Blood Blitz. The rest of the money went into sharks and prayer potions. You do need to complete the Children of the Sun for access to Varlamore, which I kind of forgot about. Luckily, it's like a 7-minute quest with no requirements, and it also gives us a chance to thank today's sponsor, OSRS Bricks. At OSRSbricks.com, you can buy these old-school RuneScape-themed Legos made from genuine Lego bricks. You will get 5% off at checkout if you use code THEED, that's T-H-E-E-D in all caps, for 5% off of your purchase. So if you think these builds are as awesome as I do, be sure to head over to OSRSbricks.com and check them out now. Thank you to OSRS Bricks for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for supporting me and OSRS Bricks. Now let's get back to those Fortis Colosseum gains. Here we are, I'm ready to make some Fortis runs. We still got a bank outside, but surely we'll get enough glory to use the bank chest in the Colosseum pretty soon. Keep in mind, this is not necessarily a Colosseum guide. I will go over some general Colosseum strategy during the video, but if you want me to upload a full Colosseum guide, then be sure to click like on this video right now, and I will link the full guide in the description as soon as it is uploaded. Grinding Wave 1 Colosseum is a legit moneymaker since every Wave 1 is always 80 Sunfire Splinters, and you can complete Wave 1 very quickly without using many, if any, supplies. You gotta kill the Fremennik Warbands, the Serpent Shaman, and if you take too long, you have to kill a Jaguar Warrior as well. The Warbands follow you around the pillar, but the Shaman won't, so you can generally just hide from the Shaman while you kill the Frems, but it's also easy to just protect Mage while having to kill the Frems as well. You do restore your health and your prayer points when you take your loot and leave, so I'm not currently worried about losing some prayer points or wasting prayer points for the Wave 1 at the moment. Overall in this video, I do try to start off with somewhat simple strategies and slowly add more things to think about as we make more progress. For the Frems, you have a meleeer, a major, and a ranger, and you're always guaranteed to hit your max hit if you use the correct combat style. To know the correct style, you have to use the combat triangle. Magic beats melee, melee beats ranged, and range beats magic. So I start by using the magic shortbow to KO the seer, aka the major. Then I switch to my dragon sword and knocked out the archer, and then the ancient staff, which is auto-casting blood spells to knock out the meleeer. Then we go back to the dragon sword and poke the shaman. We do take long enough that the Jaguar has spawned, but we can have him stuck behind the pillar while we're KOing the shaman, and then protect melee to kill the Jaguar, and we get 46k loot for the first kill. Let's fucking go! I am picking Blasphemy as my Wave 1 modifier, which drains prayer points when I take damage. Frailty might be a good call for just repeating Wave 1, especially if it's your first time ever in the Colosseum. It's not very detrimental in that wave to have a little bit less max health, and sometimes I do end up having to sip a prayer potion, which is mostly because of Blasphemy. Blasphemy is generally my default for Wave 1 though. Waves 2 and 3 start to spawn some Javelin Colossus, which is going to be a lot slower to kill, and those waves average like the same GP as Wave 1, because they're not guaranteed those splinters. Once you get to Wave 4, that's when you have a chance of getting a unique drop as well, so the average GP per wave goes up a lot. For now, we're just grinding Wave 1 until we get our first upgrade. I slowly got more into the flow of Wave 1, trying to optimize it a little bit. There's two ways to protect yourself from the Fremennik Warband attacks. You can protect from their attacks with protection prayers. They always attack on the same 6-tick cycle, and they attack in order melee, mage, range. They also can't attack while they are moving, so generally generally, if you just keep your feet moving, you take less damage from them. I was using my prayers early on in this video to protect myself, but eventually you will notice that I start moving around a lot more when fighting the Fremeniks. Yo, 95 hit points coming in hot. That a boy. Floods were a little bit safer in here with 95 health until that Frailty 3 hits. It didn't happen often, but sometimes with this setup, I did manage to KO everything before the Jaguar spawned, which does save a lot of time if you can do that consistently. At 46k per wave 1, mostly pure profit because I only used supplies when the wave went a little bit too long, and a little bit under 2 minutes per run, we're doing something like 1.5, 1.6 mil GP an hour out the gate. So it didn't take very long for my bank tab to hit 2 mil total. That means I can use my Ring of Shadows, my Fire Cape, and my Rune Pouch. The Rune Pouch is convenient, but we're not really struggling with NV space quite yet. The Ring of Shadows is a little bit of a stat boost, but the Fire Cape is definitely solid for helping out that poor Dragon Sword. At that point, I was like 20 minutes away of just doing wave 1s before I could afford the Dragon Crossbow upgrade. Here is the biggest change in price since the beginning of filming this video to now finally editing it. Look at the price of Dragon Bolts. Oh my god, they have more than doubled since this. Personally, I would still use them at 2.4k a piece. I'm not using a ton of Dragon Bolts, and they are very powerful, and we're making good money by doing Colosseum, but it's still not a bad option when you're on a budget to stick to regular diamond enchanted bolts at the moment. I am mostly using the Dragon Crossbow for special attacks. It depends if you need more damage on your max hit to KO the Fremenik warbands easily as well. If you're not doing enough damage with one attack, with one special attack with the diamond bolts, you might have to upgrade to Dragon diamond bolts. The Dragon Crossbow special attack makes the bolt bounce off of NPCs, making it possible to hit 2, sometimes all 3 of the Fremenik warbands. If your max hit's high enough, you can actually knock out 2 of them with just 1 attack. I'm going to need my ranging potions to be able to push that max hit a little bit higher. For now, it's still making the waves like much more consistently faster, which is very solid for this wave 1 farming. Now, wave 1 is still my best GP an hour with the current setup, but I did want to try pushing a couple wave 2s, couple wave 3s to just see where the DPS is at. Unfortunately, the first wave 2 I went for, I played it a little bit wrong. If I stepped to the north side of this pillar after KOing the Fremenik warbands and then protected range while this Javelin Colossus was attacking me, the Major would walk up to the south side of it, then I could stand on this square while fighting the Major, protecting Mage, then move over to KO the Ranger after the Major is dead. That way I wouldn't have had to flick between the 2 of them. Having them off tick and flicking overheads between the 2 of them is not that bad either, but our DPS is a bit low, so that means we're using a lot of prayer points while doing that. If you're not busy flicking your overheads between 2 monsters, you can spend more time flicking your offensive prayer or using your quick prayers to 1-tick flick and save a lot of prayer points. It's not required to do extra prayer flicking to save those prayer points, but it is a very nice bonus. Cannonballs on wave 2 again, dude. I'm still gonna send it and see how we do. Blasphemy 2's getting picked for the modifier. I ended up playing this wave 2 a little bit worse than the last one. All of my Colosseum runs before starting this video were using range or magic as my main attack style. So during this video is when I learned how to do melee Colosseum as well, which means I make more mistakes early on, but that's probably what you should expect while learning Colosseum as well, making mistakes early on. And now, even after doing this video, all of the Colosseum runs that I send are still with melee. It was very worth learning. I still got through it though and had enough supplies to attempt my first wave 3. I had Blasphemy 2 already and I went with Frailty 1 for now. The max health's still not that big of a deal at the moment. Wave 3 was a bit slow with 2 Javelin Colossus, but the spawn was easy to deal with, so we still got through it with a couple prayer potions left. Wave 4 coming in hot. No unique for the loot. It is a pretty rare chance on wave 4 to get any uniques, but it is the first wave that you have a chance for like an Echo Crystal or a piece of Sunfire armor. I'm gonna send it, dude. Frailty 2, let's go! Wave 4 is generally a little easier than Wave 3. The Manticore can be tough to deal with at first, but overall there's less spawns on Wave 4, so there's less of a chance that you get screwed over and have to deal with multiple monsters at once. Originally, I wasn't planning on sending Wave 5 this run, but after seeing almost 300k in Sunfire Splinters, I clicked on Myopia and just sent it. And I didn't make it. Now, I did set a new Glory PB and unlocked the bank chest inside the Colosseum though, totally worth it. After that death, I did do a little bit more Wave 1 farming for a bit, just to make sure that we're always profiting a little. When you're pushing the limits on your Colosseum gains, it can actually cost you a lot of money if you keep dying. If you want to profit here, you'll have to sometimes just take the loot early on and make sure that you're banking some money more often than you're losing it. To be fair, with the budget gear setup, it's very cheap to get my gear back from the gravestone anytime that I die, and I'm using Sharks and Prayer Potions at the moment, which aren't quite as expensive as Brews and Restores, so I'm not losing too much money each time I die, though you do have to include all of the missed out loot too. Eventually, if you get consistent at completing the full thing, then you're making some of the best money in the game, but even early on, if you don't push the run every time, you still make pretty good money. It's definitely more fun to push the waves further and further though, so after a handful of wave 1s, I would still send like a wave 4 run to see if we could snag a unique. 276k chest. Not too bad for the effort on that one. Yeah, dude. Holy shit. Back-to-back waves, 32 seconds on that one. Back-to-back wave ones without the Jaguar. Very nice. Very good for GP an hour. We got it, though. Enough from the sword. Hell yeah. 29 seconds. That's my first sub 30 second wave one. Hell yeah. I gotta go for this for sure. We're going solar flare. Oh my god. Maybe not. We're fine. I start flicking a little bit. If I get a unique on wave 4, I gotta send it. It's a 1 in 124 to see that unique on wave 4. We got it. We got it. Come on. GG's. Or not, you know. There you go. Oh, it actually is! Look! An Echo Crystal! Bro! 1 in 124. Oh. This is on wave 4! Alright! I don't have it yet. I don't have it yet. Oh, that'll be massive. Here we go. Oh, what a spawn, what a spawn, what a spawn, what a spawn. Oh, I forgot we were at Solar Flare 2. Solar Flare 1, when it gets to this spot and starts moving again, is when they spawn. I was like, damn, that was quick. That's because it's not on Solar Flare 1. It's fucking cruising. We do have Other Guy. We still get the Manticore. Featuring Other Guy. Oh, this is huge. With just wave 1s, I could have been less than an hour away, or right around an hour away from the Zamihasta. This is the Zamihasta and some. And with that, we're getting our first unique, the Echo Crystal, worth around 4.5 mil. These crystals are more like 3.3 mil while editing, but with the prices of Sunfire Splinters also being up, the Colosseum is actually better GP an hour than ever, especially if you're completing wave 12, to be fair. We only completed wave 4 to get to this one, but count it. Shout out to K Scott for buying the Echo Crystal, dodging that GE tax. Before this crystal, I was very close to having enough money for the Zamihasta, which is a nice stab weapon upgrade, but this also gave me enough money to buy an Amulet of Fury, which has a little bit better strength bonus on it, very solid defensive stats, and some prayer bonus. It is a good amulet. Had to go knock out Barbarian Training so I can wield this bad boy. This also pushed my bank over the 5 mil mark, which gives me my Barrow's Gloves, Dragon Defender, and Ava's Assembler, all very helpful for adding damage output. I did buy a Dragon Dagger at some point too, so that I would have a good special attack to use. With a little upgrade to my damage per second, I was pushing the waves a little further, more than just farming wave 1. I think technically my full speed wave 1 was still better GP an hour than slowly knocking out some wave 4s and hope for another unique, so I did still throw in a few wave 1s as well. First time getting past wave 5 right here. An extra 263k from Onyx Bolts would be really nice. We've already gotten 400 plus k on this chest though. I can't afford to be losing 400k or more when we started with only a mil just earlier this day. I did set a glory PB on that run though, which does unlock the Fortis respawn point. What about that spec? Oh, let's go! 32.29, are you fucking kidding me? Like a 61? Are you fucking kidding me, Mr. Krabs? That was insane. That's got to be my record. 24 seconds. Oh my god. Claim? After a little bit more wave 1 grinding, I did push the bank value just up to the 10 mil mark, which means we are unlocking offensive potions, and I can start using Rigor for the higher max range hit. I was about to buy some super combat potions, but I went with super attack and strength for right now. I don't need the defense boost that you get with super combats quite yet, nor do I need to save that 1 extra inventory space. I'm not really pushing all the way to wave 12 currently, so I'm saving a little bit of money on the super combats at the moment. With our increased DPS, I did push a little bit more like wave 4 plus to see if I could spot another unique. This does include my first attempt at wave 6, with 2 rangers, 1 major, and a manticore spawning on wave 6. It's fairly common to get 2 monsters on like each side of the pillar, along with the Fremenic warbands, of course. The method used to solve this problem is called the AB method. I don't even quite have the tiles marked that I'm running to at the moment. Again, this is not necessarily a guide, but basically if the manticore and then another thing were to spawn on the south side, like currently we have the manticore and the ranger. If the manticore is further south from me, I want to run to the middle of the pillar, 1 square south of where I ran to in this clip, which would have the ranger attack me first, then the manticore goes through its attacks, and it doesn't matter what order they're in because the ranger didn't attack at the same time. If those 2 spawns over there were swapped, where the manticore was actually closer to me and the ranger was further south, that's when I would want to step to the square that I'm currently on in this screenshot. That way the ranger in the back would attack first, then the manticore would go through its attacks. Unfortunately, this time it did give me one of those AB spawns, and I really just wasn't quite prepared for it yet. I also did switch to brews and restores after that wave, since we are starting to actually push a little bit further each time. It wasn't that bad getting to wave 6 the first time, so I did try to get there again. Once you hit 7+ is when you get a chance for the Tonal Sticks of Ralos, which is pretty rare to be fair, but it's worth like 85 mils, so I would like to at least have a chance for it. The next attempt at wave 6 gave me a fine spawn with just a ranger on the south side. The only problem that could arise, since I'm killing a ranger somewhat slowly, if the reinforcements were to spawn the shaman up front, that major, it would come around the pillar, and I have a small chance of taking range and magic attacks on the same tick. For now, that was not an issue, and we got through it no problem. I did have Solar Flare 2 at this point. I was used to taking Solar Flare a lot when I was doing ranged Colosseum, but it is a lot more annoying to do with melee runs, so slowly throughout the video, I do end up taking Solar Flare less and less. It can also be dangerous during Soul Heredit. Wave 7 I took Frailty 2, and I did get another one of those AB spawns. Since there turns out to only be a Shockwave Colossus on the other side for this, I opted to just run over there and camp Protect Magic and KO the Fremenix. The Shockwave has lower health than the other big spawns in the room, so I'm more likely to knock it out before the reinforcements spawn in. And then on Wave 7, the only reinforcement that's spawning is just a Minotaur, so it's really not too bad. This is Flood's first Minotaur KC coming in hot. Then for these two, I first did the wrong thing and took some damage. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Stepping from the center of the pillar to this corner square makes the ranger in the back attack you first, then the manticore up front will go through its attacks. That way they're not going to be attacking on the same tick. I could just kill them from this side and keep flicking my prayers. I opted to just run to the other pillar after getting them off tick though. That way I separated them, making them easier to kill. If you're trying to get faster times at the Colosseum, make a little bit more money per hour, and you're more consistent with your prayer flicks, you don't really want to make that pillar to pillar run as often. Wave 8 loot wasn't great, but I had decent potions left, so I was going for it. I took Relentless 1, and I got a pretty simple spawn, again with only the ranger on the south side. The reinforcements will only be a Minotaur, so when I can't protect range, I basically just get to kill each NPC one at a time for this wave. For Wave 9, again, the loot wasn't insane, but I did have some confidence I could complete the wave. I had to contemplate it for a bit. I did ultimately decide I'm willing to risk that 440k or so, just to get our first attempt at Wave 9, so I clicked on Relentless 2, and I sent it. Luckily, we basically got the same setup as last wave again. Wave 9 has 2 Manticores and 1 Ranger, which is less NPCs to deal with than Wave 8, but it's just the 1 Ranger to start. We safe spot the Minotaur, KO each Manticore one at a time, and we're good to go. A very easy setup and Wave 9 complete. I did take that loot since I was running out of Prayer Restore, but we got a new Glory PB and a new highest wave completed. Let's fucking go! And that's the second time I've seen one. We got one already, we gotta get this one. I mean, pretty big deal, pretty big a deal. Whew! Wave 4 is the lowest wave you can see uniques. It's not a great chance. I definitely haven't hit the drop rate for 1. And here's our second. Another Wave 4, another Echo Crystal. That's a little bit over 4 mil cash to work with. I didn't get any upgrades quite yet, but we're very close to getting our next one. At this point, I really only wanted to push the waves further rather than getting any Wave 1 farming done. So I did buy some Divine Potions for pre-sips, and I started bringing Super Combat Potions as well. Our DPS is still a little bit low once we're getting into the later waves and we have to do a lot of damage, but the chance for the unique is very hard to pass up, and it's a lot more fun to do Wave 7+ than it is to just keep doing Wave 1. Wave 1 has treated us very well though. Up to 1 mil in loot without seeing any uniques. I was thinking about taking the loot when it was like 600k a few waves ago, so I'm definitely taking the 1 mil right here. That's very nice. Look at these 2 goons, dude. What up, boys? I just tanked both of them tonight. I clicked on my quick prayer twice, but I didn't have it on yet, so just turn them on and off. That's what I warned everybody about last round, dude. I should heed my own advice. I was like, be careful. If they're both hitting you same tick and you fuck that up, you're just gonna tank both of them. There's not much you can do. You're just 70 damage. See? I am buying a whip at the moment. Soul Heredit is weak to slash, so I'm going to want to use a whip instead of like the Zami Hasta. I haven't gotten to the final wave quite yet, but I've been getting closer and closer. One good run could get me there, and I would hate to not at least have the whip with me when I did that. We're still using the Hasta for the waves since it is good on stab, and we're using Mixed Hide, which has a good stab bonus. There's a unique! There it is! Alright. Fuck, it's on wave 8. Not an easy wave! I shouted, not an easy wave, and then proceeded to click on Solar Flare 3. My goodness, man. I mean, Frailty 3 and Red Flag, I guess, were both rough options. Maybe Solar Flare 3 was the best option there. The spawn was easy enough, though. Another one of those Ranger only on the south side of the pillar, and then picking off the rest of the NPCs one by one. GG's! Check it out. No unique for the next wave, so no decision to make at all. Sunfire Fanatic, dude. I don't know how to say this thing, dude. Nice, we got a couple of Echo Crystals already, but this is more money than that. And that's a new collection log slot. Let's go to the Grand Exchange and get us an Osmumten's Fang, bro. The Osmumten's Fang is going to be a game changer, me boyos. The Fang is extremely accurate, and it's one of the more consistent weapons in the game. These later waves are going to be a lot faster, and in some cases, when I need to get a kill quickly before the reinforcements spawn, this is going to get us out of that situation more often. It seems that the Fang immediately made a pretty big difference. Only a few runs later, and I was on my way to set a new PB. This is my first attempt at wave 11 on Floods. If we beat this wave, we get to fight Soul Heredit, the final boss of the Fortis Colosseum. My modifiers are currently Blasphemy 3, Doom 2, Solar Flare 3, Myopia 1, and Frailty 1, and then I sent Re-Entry 1 for this wave. Immediately we got ourselves a good old AB spawn. I did manage to run to the correct square and get the Major to attack first, that way these two were off tick, but then I managed to mess up the flicks a couple of times. I think sitting at 1 health after the first mistake might have got my heart rate going a little bit too fast. My god, man. I just need a little bit more practice and I won't be messing up those flicks. Even if you're like 95% on your prayer switches, that still means once every 20 flicks you're gonna tank a hit, which is not good. So don't be too upset if you mess up your overhead prayers when you had a wave solved. It does happen to the best of us, and that is just part of the challenge. New Glory PB, though, by a long shot. I actually just reached Grand Champion rank with that, so we haven't seen Soul Heredit, and my most expensive item is the Osmumten's Fang, and we already maxed out our rank at the Colosseum, dude. Floods is cruising. Sweet. Yo, what a buff. Oh. Wave 10 is a Guardian Crystal. This is probably not the Soul Heredit run. Wave 10's not a freebie. Blasphemy 3 coming in hot. Looking back on these clips, it's really good for me, like, while working on my Colosseum guide as well. I've gotten the majority of my Soul Heredit kills after this clip right here, so while I'm editing this video, I get a much better chance to look at what I was doing wrong in these waves. For one, I really needed to stop picking Solar Flare while using melee. I do eventually figure that out. Even in this case, though, these two NPCs are off tick, and I messed up the prayer one time, which got me hit, and then Blasphemy took my prayer down to 0, so I should have sipped a Restore Potion before that, just in case that happens, so that, because I know that I have Blasphemy 3. I just said the Blasphemy 3 coming in hot. Like, what are we doing? Just in general, though, more practice will have me noticing that the NPCs are off tick. I'll flick them correctly right away, and we won't have to take that original damage. Guys, we need win. While I eat some food, hold up. What's the unique? Boom. Oh my god, it actually is. Chance for redemption, but they did it on wave 8. Why do they do it on the ass waves? So wave 8 does have a lot of spawns and it can be sketchy, but in general, waves 7, 8, and 9 are fine as long as your first spawn doesn't make it tough on you. So when I get only the ranger on the south side here, I'm already set up for success because I can just protect from range, KO the Fremenix, and no matter how long it takes me to KO this ranger, the only reinforcement spawn is going to be the Minotaur, so you just have to make sure that you get him stuck on the north side so that he doesn't heal the ranger. If this was wave 10 or 11, then there could be a major with that Minotaur, then we might be in trouble. At this point, we KO the ranger, then the Minotaur really easily. From here, to get these two off tick, I step from the center of the pillar out to this corner square, and then the ranger in the back is going to see me on the first tick. The major will see me one tick later. So now they're off tick, I KO both. Don't forget about other guy Manticore, and we've got ourselves an Echo Crystal. With that unique plus the money we've been accumulating from other good runs, I did go ahead and buy a Berserker Ring and imbued it at the Nightmare Zone. This is going to be nice for our melee max hit. Dude, this run has been like all shards, my goodness. I'm going to end up having to take this loot. I'll send Solar Flare 1 just to get this wave 8 done. I got this. Oh man, and we got the easiest spawn alive, dude. I did have to run to the other pillar to reshuffle the monsters a little bit, and somehow managed to tank damage during that, even though I had done it right originally. We got it though, we got the chest over 1 mil without a unique. If I'm getting 1 mil plus, and then every once in a while getting a unique, we're gonna be done with 100 mil pretty quickly. That's it right there, me boyos. Wave 11 complete. Floods is about to get his first shot at Soul Heredit. My modifiers are Blasphemy 3, Relentless 2, Doom 2, Solar Flare 2, Frailty 2, and I am upgrading to Relentless 3. Send it. The fight started off fine, honestly. Soul Heritage is mostly footwork. Once you get a rhythm of stepping back in the correct spots, you've mastered like 80% of the fight. When he hits the ground, he's either using his spear or his shield. When he uses the same option twice in a row, it's going to have a different pattern as well. So spear 1, I just need to step back 1 square, but then if he uses the spear a second time in a row, I actually have to take a diagonal step back instead. So spear 1, we step back, spear 2, we step diagonally back. Spear 2 is only when he uses that spear attack twice in a row. If he uses it a third time in a row, you're back to spear 1. As for his shield attack, shield 1 is still dodged with just a single step back, but if he uses the shield a second time in a row, you have to step back 2 squares instead. This can get jumbled up pretty quickly. When you get deeper in the fight, you've been dodging other things, you may not remember exactly what attack he just used. I was doing fine for a bit here, but then when shit hit the fan, it really hit the fan. GG's first Soul Heritage attempt. It was like 2 mil in loot if I completed the wave, and you can turn in an uncharged quiver for about 2 mil worth of Sunfire Splinters. So once we start actually completing wave 12s, we're really going to be cruising on GP. We have to go back. Yeah, I think I'm going to take that 2.5 mil loot instead of pushing this one any further, me boyos. That's a nice payday for no unique. There's a unique on wave 11. Oh, bro. About to be going for wave 11 already. But now if I complete wave 11, I'm less likely to go for Soul Heritage. Unfortunately, I messed up this wave 11 immediately. No A-B method or anything, just raw messing up the Manticore, dude. Bye-bye, goofy helmet. Dang, it's another 600k to pull this one off, but we're gonna take the nearly 2 mil in loot for sure. That's a lot of supplies. It's very good supply money. Another wave 11 complete. There's no unique on wave 12, but we do get our quiver if we pull this off, of course. I have so many brews left, but only 7 restore sips, dude. My ratio is way off this time. My modifier choices for this last wave weren't the best. I'm not sending bees. I have a scary feeling that I'm gonna forget volatility since I don't normally use it, so after a full Soul Heritage fight, I won't be thinking about it. And then Quartet's really not great, but it's kind of the lesser of 3 evils here. I didn't really have a single moment that got me killed necessarily. I just wasn't 100% at dodging the attacks, and eventually I ran out of super restores, which means my remaining brews were pretty much useless. Definitely still doable at that point, but I would have to be pretty much perfect, and we're not really quite perfect yet, apparently. If I take the loot now, I get another Sunfire Helm, but I really do want to beat Soul Heritage and get that quiver. I could make the 100 mil GP on this video without even trying wave 12 at all, but I would like to get at least 1 kill on the big man. I did send Healing Totem because I wasn't so sure about Doom 3 or Frailty 3. Doom 3 is a rough one, but at this point, I do think I would rather take Frailty than Healing Totems, but it's really not what got me killed anyways. I messed up the timing on the Protect Melee Prayer, and I never got back into the rhythm of the footwork. GG's, shake my hand. I lost a Sunfire Helmet earlier due to a Soul Heritage death, but at least wave 4 always has my back, dude. Shocking RNG on these wave 4s so far. I don't even know why I bother pushing it any further. Yo, 95 strength coming in hot. 3 Dragon Plate Legs for the last wave, and 3 more Dragon Plate Legs if we KO this Soul Heritage. Crazy. Frailty 2, here we go. No, I stepped back, you fuck. Damn, GG's. Damn! 1 mil in Onyx Bolts just for the wave 12 loot. Completing wave 12s consistently is so much money, but I'm just trying to get this first one for Floods right now. We got 5 Bruise Sips, 3 Restore Sips, Frailty 2, here we go. God damn, that was getting close. Oh, let's go. Yes. 43 minutes. Woo. Holy shit. That was wild. That was wildin'. I have no potions left. Count it. 2.5 mil and the quiver. I'm quivering. I'm shaking a little. I gotta take a shot. Holy fuck, dude, I got it. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Floods Worsen Quiver. That was attempt number 5 on Soul Herit, and by far the most intense one. My goal for the video was not necessarily getting a quiver. My goal is just to get rich. So let's go ahead and finish out this 100 mil GP. Wait a minute, pants? I didn't even notice that I was getting pants for that wave. If I had died there, I would have not even known that I lost pants. Wait, this is wave 4. I just got wave 4 pants. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and collect that loot. No way, dude. Well, I could have gotten deep into this one without realizing that I got pants. If I just clicked on wave 5 there and just got it started, I would have had no idea. I sold off my loot, including those pants, and bought myself a blood shard with the money. We're mostly rocking melee throughout the waves, so adding some potential healing should make it a lot more consistent getting to Soul Herit. Mistakenly, though, I took just the Blood Fury with me at first, and I quickly realized that I'm gonna run out of Blood Fury charges way too fast if I was just wearing it the entire time. So after taking this 1 mil loot real quick, I did head back to the Grain Exchange and get a regular Amulet of Fury again. That way I'm only using the Blood Fury when I'm not full health and I just need a few more heals. Let's go! There's a wave 10 Echo Crystal coming in hot. Alright, gotta lock in, gotta lock in. The Echo Crystals are slowly dropping in price, but still, an extra like 3 to 4 mil cash every once in a while is going a long ways, dude. The Echo Crystals right now, the MVPs. Would you look at that? 99 range coming in hot. Let's fucking go. That's actually the first 99 in this account. Very nice, very nice. 99 range was, that was the first 99 on my main account as well, actually. Look, range is a great skill. What can I say? What can I say? GZ Floods, you are a beast. Good job on the 99, but now we gotta go make more money. The goal of this video was not 99 range, but that's pretty cool. We take those. Unfortunately, it was at this point in the video that I got significantly worse at the game. Look, the Colosseum is challenging content, and I'm not wearing the most expensive gear to help, like, carry me in general, so it's fair that sometimes I will be dying, of course. But after getting a Soul Herit kill, I did have more confidence that I would be seeing a lot more Wave 12 loot. I did get some more KC. It wasn't only failures from here on out, but I'm not going to pretend like I didn't have a rough stretch in there as well. Each time that I die, instead of taking the loot, we're actually taking some steps backwards towards the 100 mil, so it's not necessarily a good thing, but I am getting some good practice by pushing the waves, and eventually we'll be more consistent at it. Looks like we're at the 50 mil mark at the moment. Not bad, not bad. That doesn't include the Blood Shard money, which was like 12 mil. Runelight has a Blood Fury at just 2.5 mil, which is the price of an Amulet of Fury, which is fair. You don't get the Blood Shard back. If you ever wanted to sell your Blood Fury, you're only getting the price of an Amulet of Fury from selling it, so that does make sense as well. I did purchase a Kraken Tentacle to upgrade my whip a little bit. It's nice to have some bonus DPS during that Soul Herit fight for sure. I'm getting a little bit better at the kill, but just the shorter the kill is, the less opportunity I have to make a mistake. Yeah, another Soul Herit kill. Ah, it is so satisfying, dude. My God. Let's fucking go! Yo, pants on wave 10 coming in hot, boys. All right. Wave 10, not super easy, but I need this money. Bro, this chest is gonna be like 10 mil. I am so pumped right now. We're doing it. We're really doing it. After those pants, I went to the Grain Exchange. I sold off them and all the loot that I had, and I used the money to buy Din's Bulwark. When everything's going well, I don't need the Dinny Bee, but in dire situations, it can be good to throw the Dinny Bee on and protect Mage, since it has really good melee and range defense. I'm just gonna be honest with you now, the Dinny Bee doesn't really rear its ugly head ever again in the video, but I did buy one in case I needed it. Oh, I'm so glad I'm getting through this wave 9. That was like 1 mil plus in Sunfire Splinters just for this wave. Yeah, look at that, dude. 2.2 mil chest for wave 9 with no unique. I like that. Yo, 2 Echo Crystals? Wait, this is wave 4 again, bro. No way, dude. Wave 4 is the best wave in the entire Colosseum. I don't know what is going on. Look at that. We got a no problem spawn, too. I mean, it's wave 4. There's not really a lot of problem spawns with this wave. Let's go, me boyos. That's a 6 mil chest for just a wave 4 completion. That's so nice. We're getting kind of close out here. I did buy some regen potions after this as well. The prayer regeneration potions are pretty solid for content like this. They had only just come out like right before I started this grind, so they were still a little bit expensive, but in fact, right now they're more expensive than what I'm buying them for in this clip. So in general, these potions are not cheap to use, but they're very worth it for the Colosseum, as you do get 66 prayer points per dose of potion, and that's very helpful for content like the Colosseum, the Inferno, even the fight caves. You guys may notice the extreme lack of supplies coming in hot. Oh my god, there ain't no way. I was making moves for a moment. GG's, GG's. Try again. Damn, Daniel. Honestly, anytime that I die late in the fight, it's because I got too lazy early in the fight and just let my shit run out. Like, if I wasn't taking damage when it was easier, then I wouldn't have had to be so fucking perfect when I was at the tough part. No way! No way! Wave 4 pants! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, I just gotta complete a wave 4. In a way, Relentless 1 coming in hot. Wave 4 pants completes? No way, I just got another pair of pants. Ballin', dude. Spoon paying for that fucking Blood Fury. Let's go, boys! Yes! That was getting a little intense! Woo! Easy, dude. I would just like to note that I stepped away from the computer while I was popping off, and I had no idea that I got hit by that volatility until like 10 minutes later. Alright, let's get this one over with, fellas. Towards the end of the grind, we did spot one of these bad boys. That's right, that is a Tonalstix of Ralos that's worth about 86 mil GP at the time. As you can probably tell from how I'm leading up to it, I choked this wave. We didn't get this Tonalstix of Ralos. I immediately got an AB spawn on wave 10, so I did decide to bail to the other pillar. And even though technically that worked and I had the setup for a little bit, while I was worried about potentially stepping too far and getting hit by a Manticore, I was also worried about the reinforcements that were coming, which included a Shaman and a Minotaur, so that Shaman was going to start hitting me with magic. And while that was happening, ironically, I didn't switch away from my Din's Bulwark again. It was all a mess. I really wish it didn't happen. Actually, you know what? Let's pretend that it didn't happen, right? Like I mentioned, that was late in the grind here. The Tonalstix drop would have ended the video, but it didn't take that many more solid claims to be up to the 100 mil mark anyways, so I just grinded out the last bit of money, hoping that I would never think about the Tonalstix ever again. I got my last Soul Heretic kill right here as well. That's a total of 7 Soul Heretic KC that I got during the grind. At that point, my main only had 1 KC, so Floods is officially my cooler account. We did have one last surprise for us, though. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Wave 5 triple Echo Crystal. Oh, if I choke this wave 5, I'm not releasing the video. That triple Echo Crystal right there was actually about to be the last run anyways. We were just about to hit 100 mil with just like regular loot. So you notice that the bank tab actually jumped to like 110 mil when only 100 mil was the goal. Let's go ahead and sell off all this loot. It's always very satisfying selling off Floods' tab and getting back up to that 100 mil mark. Colosseum was definitely more challenging than our previous budget money-making videos. In general, Colosseum is some of the tougher PVM content in the game, but that did make this video a lot more fun to make in general with that added challenge. If you're still looking to learn about how to complete the Colosseum, be sure to click that like button on this video right now, and I will link my full Colosseum guide in the description as soon as it is uploaded. Here we are with a little over 106 mil, a nearly full Abyssal Tentacle, and a Blood Fury with about 8,000 charges left. The Blood Fury has a lot of charges because I did buy a second Blood Shard at some point during the video, which are about 12 mil apiece, so that's still like 9 mil of that second shard left over, which I could use for even more KC. And of course, Floods now has that quiver. Let's fucking go. I probably will spend the majority of this money that I made to permanently charge this quiver. I don't see why not. Here's a look at the loot tracker from all that Colosseum life as well. 169 mil in loot is pretty hefty. I probably could have saved a little bit more money in supplies and death fees by just failing less, but that's how it be, what it do, how it be. That's gonna be it, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode of Getting Rich on a Budget. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content, and also check me out on Twitch, which should be linked on the screen and in the description. Thank you very much for watching, everybody, and best of luck on your money-making grinds.